Hello, class. I welcome you to Direct Starts again. Today, we'll be looking at calculating concentrations in gram per DM³. The objective for the lesson is, one, you should be able to express concentration of solutions in gram per DM³ after this class, and also learn how to convert volume from centimeter cube to decimeter cube, that is otherwise known as DM³. You must have understood or come across the concept concentration before. Concentration simply means the amount of solute in solution. Take a good example and look at the image on this note. You would observe that the image with the high concentration tend to have more solute. As you can see, the image with the high concentration tend to have more solute than the one with the low concentration. This is very obvious with certain solutions, such as copper sulfate solutions. When you have more copper sulfate solutions in a particular solvent, the blue color is deeper than the one with less concentration. So this concept is better viewed with colored salt or colored solute. How do we know a food is salty and a food that is well savored? It depends on the concentration of the solution, which is determined by the amount that the cook, applied to the food. If you applied too much salt into solution, that means you have a concentrated solution of salt in that food. And when people eat it, they feel that, oh, this food is too salty. Okay, so the same thing applies to when we want to produce anything, be it drugs, be it food items, be it cosmetics, and the likes. Concentration is very, very important because it determines our formulations. Okay, so we'll be looking at how to calculate these concentrations, okay, to know what amount of a particular substance to apply to a solvent to get a certain concentration that is needed for production. We can measure the concentration of solution by considering the mass of the solute that is required to dissolve in 1 DM³. We use 1 DM³ because 1 DM³ is equivalent to 1 liter. So 1 DM³, take note of this conversion, is the same as 1 liter. This is equivalent to 1,000 centimeter cube. Okay, 1,000 centimeter cube. And we have some other laboratory apparatus that measure the mil. Okay, so but in most cases we have our apparatus measured in centimeter cube. So for you to get 1 liter, it means you have to measure out 1,000 centimeter cube, okay, of that particular solution. We have some, in case you come across apparatus that are measured in mil, just know that centimeter cube still means milliliters, okay? So the same as your milliliters. So what this simply means is 1,000 milliliters is equivalent to 1 liter. And then 1,000 centimeter cube is also equivalent to 1 liter and also equivalent to 1 DM³ So I will be using 1 liter or 1 DM cube interchangeably. Okay, they mean the same thing. Okay, this means the same thing, and this also means the same thing. Okay, the conversion rate is just 1,000 of the cm cube or of the milliliter is equivalent to 1 dm cube or 1 liter of solution. Let's take, for example, how do we measure the concentration or calculate the concentration of 50 gram of copper sulfate into dm cube solution? That brings us to this formula here. Mathematically, we calculate concentration in gram per dm cube by simply using this formula. And the formula goes thus: mass dissolved, the mass dissolved in solution mass dissolved in solution over the volume. So as per the volume, please ensure your volume is in dm cube. Okay, so the volume is in dm cube and the mass is in gram. Okay, so this is the formula we are going to use. Okay, so that is how to get your concentration in gram per dm cube. That is how it's done. I'll just say concentration. Okay, so that is how it's calculated. Let's take, for example, the question I just read out. We have 50 gram of copper sulfate solution, in 2 dm cube, which is otherwise known as 2 liters. So all we need to do is just simply get the mass, which is 50 gram. So we have 50 gram, okay, divided by 2 dm cube, okay, and that simply gives us 25, because we are when you divide 50 by 2, you have 25 gram per dm cube. Okay, so that is the way to go with questions like this. The only technicalities you may come across is when your volume is not given in dm cube. So let's take the final example for this class, which is find the concentration of the following 12 gram of a solute dissolved in 200 cm cube. Now the mass given to us, M, we'll use M for mass, is 12 gram. And then the volume given to us is 200 cm cube. So remember, we need 1000 cm cube to make 1 dm cube. So what that simply means is we'll divide this by 1000 to convert this unit to dm cube. Okay, and that gives us 0.2 dm cube. Now that we have our volume in dm cube, our mass is already in gram. All we need to do is apply our formula. So our concentration now equals to 12 gram divided by 0.2 dm cube. And this, of course, will give us 60 gram per dm cube. So it's that simple. So that is how to get your concentration in gram per dm cube. Thank you for watching. Please do remember to subscribe to our channel, Direct Stars. and ensure to like this video and share to your friends. Till we meet again. Bye.